What if I told you at least 18 women vanished along one Canadian highway, and most were never found? It's called the Highway of Tears, a 725-kilometer stretch in British Columbia, where women started disappearing as far back as the 1970s. Most of the victims were Indigenous, young. Many were last seen hitchhiking because there was no adequate public transportation out there. Families searched, communities mourned, but for decades, authorities barely listened. There was even an instance where a victim's bloody clothing was disregarded because they hadn't yet located her body. Some argue that the lack of results from these investigations, or in some cases, lack of investigation at all, is the result of systemic racism. Reportedly, this was also an issue in the case of Vancouver's missing women and the Robert Pickton murders. Activists argue that the coverage of these cases had been limited in the media, claiming that the media assigned a lesser value to Aboriginal women. The case of Nicole Hoare, a white woman, received a disproportionate amount of media attention at the time of her disappearing in 2002. Nicole's case was the first Highway of Tears case to be covered in the Globe and Mail, Vancouver Sun, and the Edmonton Journal. Gladys Radick, a Native activist and the aunt of one of the victims, said that she believes that if it wasn't for Nicole, the police would have invested less effort in investigating cases, and the media would have done little, if anything, to inform the public about the tragedies along this road. For more details, my podcast breaks down the full timeline, the stories, the RCMP's response, and how this tragedy shaped a national movement. Listen to Crime Time 911 on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts.